The Sahel, an unforgiving 3 million square kilometer belt of shifting dust, cracked earth, and baked clay that cuts completely across the vast expanse of the African continent. For decades, a quiet but catastrophic war has been waged on this very soil. The Sahara Desert has been relentlessly marching south, expanding its borders year after year, swallowing entire historical villages, erasing vital generational farmland, and leaving over 100 million people trapped in a devastating cycle of extreme drought, famine, and escalating poverty. In this region, environmental degradation is not a distant future threat. It is a daily reality of survival. Temperatures routinely cross 40 degrees Celsius for months on end, and the topsoil has become so thoroughly dried out and stripped of life that it literally bounces water away like solid concrete during the rare moments it does rain. To the outside observer, it feels like a post-apocalyptic environment where nothing could possibly survive, let alone thrive. But what looks like a completely irreversible ecological catastrophe is actually the active staging ground for the most ambitious, hyper-scaled environmental engineering project in human history. Stretching an astonishing 8,000 kilometers from the Atlantic coast of Senegal all the way across the entire width of Africa to the shores of Djibouti on the Red Sea, 22 sovereign nations have put aside their political differences to construct what is known as the Great Green Wall. This is not a passive conservation effort or a small-scale tree-planting charity event. It is a highly active, multi-billion-dollar geopolitical campaign, specifically designed to completely restore 100 million hectares of dead land, capture 250 million tons of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and permanently push back the advance of the desert. And despite intense skepticism from global authorities and international climate experts, who originally called the project an impossible dream, the latest scientific data proves that it is actually working. To understand how this massive, continent-spanning operation actually works, we first have to completely discard the biggest myth surrounding it. When the African Union officially launched the initiative back in the year 2007, the global public and media imagined a literal, straight, uniform wall of trees planted across the continent like a green version of the Great Wall of China. But early attempts based on this rigid top-down model failed miserably. Well-meaning corporate teams and government agencies arrived with truckloads of saplings, planting millions of trees directly into the dry, unyielding earth without consulting local populations. The result was a disaster. Over 80% of those initial saplings died within just a few months, completely cooked by water scarcity, poor soil quality, and intense, unforgiving heat. The trees withered away, and the shifting desert sand simply swallowed them back up, costing millions of dollars and leaving behind nothing but dead wood. It was a devastating, humbling lesson that forced engineers, politicians, and local communities to fundamentally rewrite their entire strategy from scratch. They realized that you cannot conquer a dynamic, ancient, and living desert ecosystem with a rigid, top-down corporate mindset. The project went through a profound philosophical evolution, shifting away from a literal wall of trees into a massive, highly decentralized mosaic of thousands of localized initiatives tailored to the exact topography, culture, and soil needs of each unique region. Instead of a single continuous line, it became an organic network of green islands, managed entirely by the people who live there, slowly expanding outward until they eventually connect. This localized approach completely flipped the script on desertification. The real, foundational breakthrough did not come from advanced scientific laboratories, Western consultants, or heavy industrial machinery, but from reviving ancient, indigenous farming techniques that modern agricultural scientists had overlooked and dismissed for generations. In dry West African nations like Burkina Faso and Mali, local farmers began digging thousands of traditional earth structures called zai pits. These are small, shallow holes dug systematically into the hard-packed, crusted earth during the grueling dry season when the soil is otherwise impossible to work. When the brief, violent, and unpredictable seasonal rains finally arrive, these pits act as natural micro-reservoirs, catching and holding the rushing surface water before it can run off the barren, baked landscape. Farmers then fill each individual pit with organic compost and livestock manure, creating a highly concentrated, protected pocket of deep moisture and rich nutrients right where a seed will be planted. When traditional food crops like millet and sorghum are planted inside these simple zai pits, their yields do not just increase slightly, they skyrocket by up to several 100%, transforming starving families into food-secure communities. But the true, long-term ecological magic happens deep underneath the surface. The consistent moisture and organic nutrients trapped by these thousands of pits do something extraordinary. They wake up an invisible, long-dormant underground root network belonging to native trees that lived in the region decades ago before the droughts came. This is what scientists call an underground forest. Instead of wasting time and resources planting fragile, non-native foreign saplings that require constant watering, farmers use a method called farmer-managed natural regeneration. They carefully identify, protect, and prune these wild native sprouts as they emerge directly from the native soil. Because these native trees already possess deep, ancient, and highly adapted root structures, they are nearly indestructible and can survive the harshest droughts. But healing the dry soil is only half the battle, when the surrounding air itself feels like a roaring oven. As these native trees are allowed to grow into maturity, they completely re-engineer the local atmosphere and microclimate. In regions where millions of these hidden roots have been successfully brought back to life, a stunning physical transformation takes place. The dense interlocking tree canopy blocks the brutal direct rays of the equatorial sun, causing ground temperatures beneath the leaves to drop by up to several degrees Celsius. This cooling effect drastically reduces the rate of ground evaporation, keeping moisture trapped in the soil significantly longer. Over time, this allows local underground water tables, which had been dry for half a century, to rise back toward the surface, bringing water back to village wells for the first time in generations. If you look closely at the most successful pockets of this transformation inside the nation of Senegal, you see a highly sophisticated, multi-layered ecosystem known as a food forest. It functions as a complete ecological defense system built in strategic tiers. On the outermost edges, facing the advancing desert, communities plant a living fence of dense, drought-resistant, fast-growing pioneer trees. These tough outer rings act as a physical shield, breaking the momentum of destructive desert winds and blocking blinding, choking dust storms from destroying the community inside. Just inside this perimeter, nitrogen-fixing trees are placed at precise geometric intervals to naturally enrich and fertilize the surrounding earth with nutrients, completely eliminating the need for expensive, toxic chemical fertilizers. Beneath this massive protective canopy, the environment is altered so completely that farmers can suddenly grow delicate fruit and nut trees like papaya, citrus, and mango, alongside traditional ground crops like beans, squash, and leafy vegetables. These plants thrive in the rich, cool shade, completely protected from the intense, burning tropical sun. In Senegal alone, this community-driven approach has successfully restored millions of hectares of previously dead land, providing a highly reliable food source and a steady, predictable income for rural villages. Women's cooperatives have stepped into leadership roles, managing the sustainable harvest of highly valuable non-timber forest products like gum arabic from the mature native acacia trees. This valuable commodity is sold to global markets for use in food and pharmaceuticals, completely transforming the local microeconomy and empowering women with financial independence. Yet, sweeping across an 8,000-kilometer landscape means battling far more than just the forces of nature. The Great Green Wall faces immense, deeply complicated geopolitical hurdles every single day. Managing a single massive environmental project across 22 distinct sovereign countries requires navigating intense political instability, sudden border closures, bureaucratic delays, and regional conflicts. In some parts of the wider Sahel region, severe climate degradation has historically driven fierce, violent resource wars between nomadic pastoral herders searching for water and settled agricultural farmers trying to protect their remaining pockets of fertile land. Securing the long-term future of the wall means resolving these human conflicts just as much as it means planting trees. To keep this vital momentum from stalling out completely under the weight of these challenges, global leaders and international institutions launched the Great Green Wall Accelerator Program in the year 2021. injecting over $14 billion of fresh international funding and technical resources directly into the initiative. This massive funding surge has allowed project organizers to rapidly scale up field operations, train tens of thousands of local land managers in agroforestry, and deploy advanced satellite monitoring systems. These satellites track vegetation density and moisture levels in real time from orbit, allowing scientists to see exactly where the wall is thriving and where it needs immediate reinforcement. The project is no longer just a loose, disjointed collection of idealistic villages. It has evolved into a highly coordinated, data-driven regional defense network, fighting desertification with maximum precision.
Humankind is no longer just a passive observer watching the planet shift through its ancient, devastating environmental cycles. By combining ancestral land use wisdom with modern ecological science and satellite data, the courageous communities living along the edge of the Sahel are actively proving to the world that humanity possesses the power to reverse even the most severe environmental damage. Millions of hectares of barren dust have already been successfully reclaimed, and these vibrant green islands are growing larger, stronger, and more resilient every single day. The Sahara Desert is incredibly powerful, but the collective will, innovation, and unity of an entire continent is proving to be completely unstoppable. If you found this historic geopolitical transformation fascinating, hit subscribe for more stories like this.